Once the above moral and political pressure has mounted enough for the feminazis to fear for their ideologies and movements' survival, then they need to start compromising. They will have to accept the rise of the masculists, abandoning their traditional monopoly over gender discourse, accepting that from now on they will have to share the gender stage with the masculists. And since masculists are men and hence genetically superior to women, the masculists will soon dominate gender politics. Since whenever men turn their minds to anything, they always dominate it, because the genii are males, and men have much higher testosterone levels, making them more aggressive, more ambitious, more dogged, more persistent, and hence achieve far more than women, whose performance track record is greatly inferior to men's, hence the existence of the patriarchy, male-dominated world, in which women achieve far less, far less. As a masculist theorist, I can see third-wave feminism surviving in a modified form. For masculists, second-wave feminism is a prerequisite for women to be able to be effective FIPs. To be able to effectively FIP up, a woman needs to be given equal opportunities to succeed as a careerist. Similarly with certain aspects of third-wave feminism, that is, the empowerment of women. I have nothing against the empowerment of women, so long as it is not at men's expense, in the sense of feminists pushing for equal outcomes rather than equal opportunities with men. Equal outcomes, that is, a 50-50 ratio of women to men in positions of power, in the parliaments, in company boardrooms, etc., will only discriminate against men, since men are genetically superior to women, as a result of women's hypergamous instinct of wanting to mate up, that is, with a genetically superior male who will give her kids superior DNA, which is good for the species, so was inherited. It's women who indirectly created the patriarchy, that is, general male dominance across the board, as a side effect of women's hypergamous instinct. By all means, give women equal opportunities to succeed in their careers, given that even with women having their 2 kids, they still have a career window of some half a century. So now that women can work, they must work, since anything else is man's slavery, parasitism of men's labour, and is to be spat at. So this kind of equal opportunities empowerment of women, which is still third-wave feminism of a sort, is to be encouraged by the masculists, because it will make women better FIPs, who in turn will liberate men from traditional man-slavery that the masculists aim to wipe out this century worldwide. The very subtitle of my book spells this out. Quote, "Masculism, men's rebellion against being man-slaves to women." End quote. This compromise form of third-wave feminism is acceptable to men, to masculists and female masculists, and is to be encouraged. But if today's third-wave feminists push for equal outcomes with men, that is, effectively female quotas, that will discriminate against men, then the masculists will harangue them out of the room with verbally violent abuse, vitriol, bitch slaps and male hatred, because masculists are absolutely fed up with feminazi discrimination against men, especially the fluffy feminist hypocrisy against men, with their monoconscious ignorance of how heavily fluffies oppress men, with their financial parasitism, their man-slavery, etc. So given the above, it should be clear that third-wave feminists have a choice. They can reform their definition of what empowerment of women means, that is, abandoning their push for equality of outcomes with their women quotas, and accept equal opportunities for women, giving them equal opportunities to perform at the limits of their genetically determined abilities. Or they will be crushed out of existence by the combined moral and political pressures coming from the masculists and female masculists, both of whom will hate the third-wave feminazis, with the masculists seeing them as indirect genociders, and the female masculists seeing them as indirect infanticiders, depriving young women from having quality babies fathered by quality young men. So to the more moderate women reading this, I leave you with a masculist slogan, quote, "Women, be fair to men, or men will be unfair to women." End quote. That is, in the limit, if men continue to be financially crucified in the feminazi-controlled divorce courts, then responsible males, masculist soldiers, will kill these feminazi vermin in the sex war. Women's right to vote will be taken away from them. The gender laws will be men-fared, and women will fall back into the inferior status they have had for millions of years. Since the vast majority of women do not want such a fate, it's in women's self-interest to do whatever it takes to help men by becoming female masculists, to help men fare the gender laws, to help bring in the para, to help remove social and legal discriminations against men across the board. Cheers. Prof. Dr. Hugo de Garis. Email profhugodegaris@yahoo.com. Website profhugodegaris.wordpress.com. In parentheses, contains links to 300 plus YouTube, Minds, BitChute, Masculist essay/videos, and to the book, Masculism, Men's Rebellion Against Being Manslaves to Women, an e-textbook of 300 plus Masculist flyers for men's studies courses. Ciao.